Hey guys, it's Ellen Brock, novel editor. Today I'm going to go over 25 common mistakes that will peg you as an amateur writer. Now you probably already know some of these mistakes, but it can be helpful to just run through some things, maybe just as a reminder. These are mistakes that don't need an entire video of explanation, but they are things that can make a huge difference and help you to come across as professional. If you guys like this kind of video, let me know. I could probably easily make 4 or 5 versions of this video. So if you would like to see a follow-up video with 25 more reasons or 25 more things that might peg you as an amateur, just let me know in the comments. Number 1 is spelling changes. If you spell a name a certain way, make sure it's always spelled that way. The same with locations, magical abilities, magic spells. Make sure you're consistent with the capitalization and you're consistent with the spelling. Number 2 is similar names. You should not have multiple characters with very similar names, especially not introduced close together, or characters that may have similar personality attributes or be on the same side, either the good side or the bad side. If Alfred, Allie, Angela, and Amber all walk into the bar at the same time, it's not exactly easy to tell those characters apart. Number 3 is mistakes in procedures with different professions, especially social work, the police, the court system, forensic scientists. You need to understand how those professions work. Don't just guess, do the research. Number 4 is mistakes in descriptions of medical problems, medical care, technology, weapons. Do the research, make sure you understand what you're describing because it will make you look a lot more professional. Number 5 is small talk in dialogue that takes up a bunch of space but doesn't mean anything and doesn't have any relevance. Hi, how are you? I'm good, how are you? The weather's nice today. It is nice weather today. This is not interesting conversation. Number 6 is forgetting to include sensory information. Sights and sounds and smells, those things really help to ground the reader. Number 7 is naming the main character after yourself or a slight variation of your name. This will be very apparent when you go to query agents or publishers, and it is a big red flag. Number 8 is cliches, used too frequently and especially used on the first page. You want to show off your own unique writing abilities. You do not want to rely on pre-established cliche phrases. Number 9 is using the same sentence construction over and over. He walked to the chair. He sat down in the chair. He crossed his legs. He smiled. Try to vary your sentences because it will look a lot more professional. Number 10 is switching between past and present tense unintentionally. Make sure you know which one you're writing in and you know how to stick to it. Number 11 is pausing the story every time a character is introduced to provide a laundry list of physical descriptions. 1 or 2 descriptions is fine, but the big long paragraph of descriptions is not going to read smoothly and it's not going to seem professional. Number 12 is overuse of alternative dialogue tags. Things like whispered, chastised, murmured should be used very sparingly. Said and asked should make up the majority of your dialogue tags. Number 13 is using more than 1 or 2 adjectives to describe a noun. The big, thick, warm, dark green cable knit sweater is very awkward to read and it's way more description than the reader wants. Number 14 is using more words than is necessary. He lifted his chin slowly and then dropped it back to his chest instead of he nodded. Number 15 is thesaurus writing, replacing words constantly with bigger words or fancier words just to sound more impressive or more sophisticated. Number 16 is constantly repeating the character's name. Abby walked over to the counter. Abby picked up the phone. She called her mom and Abby knew that her mom was going to be mad that she was out late. This is really awkward and unnatural. Number 17 is repeating character's name in dialogue. We don't normally call people by their names in dialogue very often, so it can seem unnatural, especially if you use this a lot. How are you today, Ashley? I'm doing well today, Tiffany. Number 18 is repeating the same descriptions over and over. If you describe the main character's eyes as shining emeralds 2, 5, or 20 times in the book, it's going to be noticed by the reader and it's going to be awkward. Number 19 is switching the point of view character at random. The point of view character should switch because it advances the story, not just arbitrarily. Number 20 is including mundane details for no reason. We don't need to watch your character brush their teeth or get out of the shower or pick their clothes. These descriptions are very rarely interesting. Number 21 is describing every article of clothing every character is wearing at all times. It is very rare that readers care at all what the clothes are, and when you go on and on describing it, you're probably just going to bore the reader. Number 22 is using an adverb plus a verb instead of just using a stronger verb. For example, saying he moved quickly instead of he jogged. Number 23 is overly formal dialogue, especially dialogue that doesn't use contractions. How are you today, William? I am doing well today. How are you? I have nothing to complain about. It does not come across like natural speech. Number 24 is introducing too many characters at the same time. Marcy walked home from school with her friends Jake, Tiffany, Allison, Rebecca. Number 25 is writing stage direction instead of action. We don't need to understand every nuanced movement of your character. He sat down and crossed his right leg over his left leg. His right hand tapped on the back of the chair while his left hand scratched his head. Nobody needs this much description. I really hope you found this video helpful and that it taught you some things that maybe you didn't know or reminded you of some things that you were already aware of. This was part of my novel bootcamp series. I will be making new videos 3 to 4 days per week throughout August. I'll also be hosting workshops on my blog, and I'll put a link in the description. Happy writing, guys!